Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. It's actually not. It's me, Kurbu. Whoa, creator of Gunman. I suck at doing video intros, so it's just spouting nonsense instead. But yeah, as the title says, and as I guess most of you watch this video will know, because like you don't expect some portal sap to encounter the Gunman QNA and just say, "Whoa, this is sure something I am interested in." Yeah, you have asked me a couple of questions about gunmen, which are varying quality. Most of them are completely incomprehensible, but I will try to answer them anyways. Um, on some footage of like Nuclear Zone or whatever game I decide to put in the background to make things more exciting. Um, so I guess I'll just go in chronological order. I guess it makes more sense to do some before others, but you know, we will. So the first question is, why does Gunman? Very philosophical in the sense that it doesn't have the main verb, so I don't really know what Gunman is supposed to, do. Why does Gunman live? That's perhaps a question you could say. He kind of lives to shoot people. He gains a bit more complicated motivations later on in Gunman 3, but in Gunman 1 and 2, it's very much just um, it goes so far that like the moment he considers stopping to live is, because his way of life so far has, been not that advantageous for him. He shot Chris Pratt in the face, and he liked Chris Pratt, unlike all those innocent people he shot. So that's what makes him consider changing his way of doing, so to say. Um, and like what the police say, and this is a tangent, but like you can feed videos into Google Gemini. So I asked it about Gunman. Uh, like it picked up things that were actually said in the video. It wasn't hallucinating. It was just really focused on the same four details. So Gunman being chemically addicted to shooting people in the face was a throwaway joke. That was something it really considered, quote unquote, since an LLM can't consider things. Then it was like, yes, very profound. Gunman is chemically addicted to shooting people in the face. I am going to include that in my analysis. I don't know if that's a good Google AI voice, but whatever. I've spent enough time on the question, why does gunman, and move on to the admittedly more clear question, what are gunman's views on the state of politics in Bosnia and Herzegovina? Uh, so this is also something I tried asking Gemini, for the lols. Didn't give me an answer, obviously, because like Gunman doesn't speak out on politics in Bosnia and Herzegovina in either Gunman 1 or 2, or 3 for that matter. So, like what it said is, oh, Gunman hates capitalism, which is, true. Um, but like Bosnia and Herzegovina wouldn't be especially unique. Like, I assume, and I'm not very much knowledgeable on the politics of Bosnia either, but that it's sort of plagued by the Yugoslav wars and ethnic tensions between the Bosniaks and Serbs, and I think there are Croats there too. Kurbo, the expert on Balkan politics, yeah, no. Um, and like, Gunman doesn't care a shit about that, because like, if he was enlisted in the Yugoslav wars, he would just shoot everyone on both sides. He is a radical centrist in that. So like, Gunman doesn't care about Bosnia. If he can shoot people, then that's good. Third question: is Gunman the gay? Uh, so this is probably the question that quote unquote influenced me the most. When I wrote the script for Gunman, because like I included, I think, two lines of him referring to George Michael being handsome. Maybe just one, but either way, that's points in favor for a gay gunman headcanon, I assume. but but like, but believe it or not, I don't have a sexuality in mind for gunman. Like my general philosophy on characters that I don't create is, I treat them as bi unless there's overwhelming evidence, and like that's an official confirmation from the author that they are this sexuality. And like I don't want to be the one who hinders people from coming up with Gunman is gay, or Gunman is a trans lesbian, or Gunman is aro ace. Like Gunman can be whatever you want him to be. And I know it can be sad to not have canon gay representation in the worst video series on YouTube, but it's also like I either give one person a treat, or I can give all of them half a treat. You know how much I love utilitarianism, so I'm going to queerbait everyone with Gunman. Hooray! Next question: what's the gunman's favorite gun? So we should have a great drinking name for how much I say but gunman's favorite gun, like the one I always draw of him is a generic cartoon gun. It doesn't really have any name, any special properties. In Gunman 3, the only other gun besides the portal gun, then, and I don't think Gunman would be too fond of it because he he doesn't like being pulled away from his dimension to convert people to Last Christmas. As a sniper rifle, and that also shoots gunmen. So like I think every time I include a gun that isn't the gunman gun, the generic gun, it's always used against gunman. So we start to getting to the process of elimination where gunman has a grudge against every gun except his old trusty pistol. So that's gunman's favorite gun, I suppose. Is gunman into fighting games? Possibly Smash Bros. Because Joker is a character there. The famous meme of he's neutral, but be special as a gun. But there are probably other fighting games where characters have guns, but like those are when he will play. It's not an unconditional love fighting games because why fight when you can shoot people? He would probably be much more fun of games like TF2, Counter-Strike, Overwatch. Call of Duty. Gunman would be one of those people who like post epic 360 no-scope montages on YouTube. What episode of Skibbity Toilet is Gunman watching at the moment? I really don't want to be like one of those people who are like, oh well, sort of like Google AI. I haven't really considered Gunman watching Skibbity Toilet, so the answer is he doesn't. But like, I can't really imagine Gunman watching any episodes of Skibbity Toilet. I don't even, how many episodes even are there? Something I was supposed to Google beforehand. So I don't know. None of them, or episode 1 at least, because I assume there has to be an episode 1, right? Or is it like episode 0? I am frowning so much right now. What is Gunman's education like? Oh, this makes me realize that I accidentally skipped a question. But I'll return to it. Because it's useful to know Gunman's education before answering the other one. So Gunman lives in Sweden. Here we have daycare or like kindergarten up to around 6 years old or 5. We have 1 year of preschool, then school from 6 or 7. Don't make a joke about that. To 15 or 16. Then we have high school, and then we have a university where you can get, bachelor's, master's, or PhD. Or is it? Yeah, probably something like that. And only the years of school, I think, are obligatory. So everything before and everything after is non-compulsory. And since, well, Gunman doesn't really seem to me to be the smartest guy, to be honest, either in terms of natural talent or cultivated experience, because like, yeah, his impulse control is not that impulse control is indicative of intelligence, but like his foremost solution to everything is shooting people. And like, I don't think he would have done especially well in school or had especially much motivation to continue. The- I don't even know when he got his gun, to be honest. Like, it could have been after school. Like, he was this child prodigy, but was said to have a great career. Then he found a gun, and like things started going downhill. But that's another thing you can create headcanons about. Is Gunman a stupid pooper head or not? But if he had the average education, I don't have these exact statistics. I think graduating high school is the most common. Um, could be university, could be you know, junior high. But like, Gunman does not have a PhD at least. That I can tell you for sure. Unless it's something like liberty, beer, guns, and titties. Yeah. Okay, now back to that question I accidentally skipped. Has Gunman read the head visual novel Human Echo When They Cry? So reading Human Echo, I would assume, because like I haven't read it myself, but I would assume it has quite high demands for literacy, both traditional and media. Gunman, ge- for one, like I don't know if there are guns in Human Echo. There could be, and that could be something appealing to Gunman. I realize I'm kind of just fanboying him, but oh my god, it's Gunman. He has to have a gun, or it won't work. Um, but like if there are, I don't think they're to focus. Like reading and you know theorizing, because that's apparently something you do in Human Echo. You write down your series ahead of time for the best experience. That that's not exactly gunman coded, no. I don't think so. No, I think he hasn't read the hit visual novel Echo When They Cry. Uh, Next question is, why are my dreams real? So this is just malicious compliance on my part. The background for this video is that one of my friends who, you know, sort of more or less told me to revive Gunmad from being a stupid video I made when I was like 12, said that I apparently promised them a Gunman QNA in their dreams. And I say, oh, I apparently promised you a Gunman QNA in your dreams, so I guess I have to do a Q&A now. And then they ask, why are my dreams real? Um, so, like the study of dreams is quite fascinating. Obviously, you have the Freudian approach back all the way in the 19th, not 19th, 20th century, where you say they're a manifestation of unconscious, subconscious desires. And nowadays we don't accept Freudian theory isn't exactly widespread in modern psychologies, but I don't really know what the replacement is for why dreams are so weird and like it can be coherent and yet nonsense at the same time. So I can't really say anything more than, you know, you told me about your dream and I made it real. So I'm reducing your dreams are real. How does it feel? Uh, okay. Next question. Would Gunman shoot me if I was a worm? Um, this is actually one of the questions Google AI was, you know, more helpful about. It said, "Oh well, Gunman has shown a pattern of shooting people, so like he would probably pretty obviously shoot a worm." And you know what? I hate to agree with with Google AI, but like that's sort of the assumption I had. It's like obviously it's a spoof of the "Would you still love me if I was a worm" meme, and like it's supposed to test loyalty. Like, oh, I could be an entirely different person than I am now. Would you still love me? I think that's kind of stupid because like obviously you have to have some level of adjustment to changing life situations, but like if you can't talk or snuggle, I mean, have you ever tried snuggling before? I don't know, but like if you can't do any of that, then yeah, obviously my relation to you would change. But like for gunman and shooting things, that could actually change now that I think about it. Like I feel like gunman derives some sort of satisfaction from knowing that he's ending a human life. And like if it's something as insignificant as a worm, then maybe he'll spare it just because like he flat out just doesn't think it's worth it to shoot the worm. Um, but like it wouldn't be because he thinks, oh, I'm such a good person, I won't shoot a worm. It's a worm. So yeah, that's my answer. I ended up not agreeing with Google AI, anyways. Hooray. Um, Next question is, why am I being experimented on? This is also malicious compliance. I made kind of did something where I replied something to every message to make sure that they knew that I'd seen it, and I was going to answer it in the Q&A. And I said, "Oh, interesting thought experiment" or something like that. I flash message on screen if I know how to do that. Um, and then yeah, she this person who asked this, she answered that. Uh, that's actually something you can ask Google AI too. Uh, I, I think it can bring up the response because like what I remember is something you were being experimented on because you were in a cool meta narrative. Um, Bogus gunman. This gunman is the gay. Yeah, I asked a lot here. Oh, never. Wait. It says it can't answer the question by analyzing the YouTube video, but it can by Google searching. I have no idea. Behavioral conditioning. How is conditioning if it's chemically addiction? I mean, yeah, yeah, drug addiction does involve conditioning, but like, hmm, I don't know what I'm on about. Here. The video explicitly mentions doing things to avoid uncomfortable questions from the audience. In this sense, you, the viewer or creator, are the one conducting the experiment. Gunman is the subject. An experiment is seeing how much chaos one man with a gun can cause in Sweden before the plot breaks. Summary for your viewer. You're being experimented on because you're a character in a surreal YouTube series where the god of copy is and the whims of audience dictate your reality. Yeah. Um, so I don't know if I'm satisfied with the answer. Um, as satisfied I can be with the answer to a question that really shouldn't be included unless I was a prick. So, but that's the answer you get. Oh yeah. This is a follow up to the would you shoot me if I was a worm? Would gunman shoot the worm if it was a human? And then that's just how I what I talked about, like gunman like shooting people. So if worms was a person, it would become even more likely. Um, is gunman a single father of two? So here's the thing. Like there are multiple ways to get children. There's of course, you know, finding a partner and somehow being responsible for that partner giving birth. Through penetration or IVF or whatever. You can also adopt. I don't know the rules of adoption. I think they're pretty strict from what I've heard. So like I don't think gunmen would be allowed to have children considering, gunman. Um in should that route at least, and like I seriously doubt you heard it from me here, folks. Gunman does not have wrists. People were women, but like people in general, they're like being shot in the face. Um, so like bringing a gun on a first date, which he would most likely do. Um, yeah, it won't go that well. So no, gunman is not a single father of two. Gunman is single, yes, but not a father of two. Right. And then the final question. Was Gunman the one who assassinated JK, or did his head just do that? So if, as you can see from the image, if I managed to get the image in, um, this was from a meme video one of my voice actors made. um, I I don't know how old Gunman is. Um, Old enough to become arrested. So like that's puts him at 15 at the very minimum, and like I toyed with the idea of immortality, but that sounds more serious than just for a weak joke in Gamma 3. But assuming he has immortal lifespan, he would be I don't know, like 70 at most. I don't think he has an especially healthy lifestyle, so I don't see him living that long. Um, so that would put him born in 1955 at the very latest. He would be 8 years old, because I think John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963, right? Uh, I don't think an 8-year-old was the one who assassinated John F. Kennedy. I also like as funny as the oh his head just did that meme is. I'm pretty sure it was the human who shot him. Let's stick to the laws of the logic here. People's heads just don't really explode for any reason whatsoever. So I feel like there has to be a cause. Um, but oh god, man. So yeah, that was all questions. I had fun time answering them, even if I had a hard time for some of them. Mainly the White House gunman, because like most of them are actually pretty straightforward. I guess I just get caught up by the first every question I get being that. Um, yeah, but anyways, probably releasing this before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you, those of you who are celebrating. If it happens to be after Christmas, then um, Merry Christmas in advance, I suppose. Happy holidays, hooray. I'm gonna end the video now. Hooray.